Well, Job is having a hard time. He preached in the city, and the people responded and went into mourning, and he was angry at that. After all, he went through, I guess he wanted the people to go through some hard times as well. So he's, God, worked with him and helped him, etc. And I'm sure that Peter's mother-in-law, was very happy that Jesus was there, and to cure her, and go into that tradition of serving and being head of the house in that sense. And we've probably been in some situations that seem hopeless, seem very dark. That happens to us in this world. We're not in a perfect world, and none of us are perfect. Sometimes the things that get us upset are outside of us, and sometimes it's inside of us. And maybe sometimes we've caught ourselves saying, "Where are you?" We cry out to God. That happens. And that's a good thing when we cry out to God. And we want to always try to make sure that we have a situation where that can happen. And one of the things that we're going to talk about today, in fact, the major thing I want to talk about today is Diocesan Services Fund Sunday. It comes up every year, 2 weeks before Lent. And the cardinal, the bishop of our diocese, is charged with providing ministries throughout the archdiocese. So, we have priests here. We have, 2 priests assigned here. We have a resident priest who helps out. Father Plant is being moved over to another parish. And so he has to, move people around and do things like this. But there's another whole part of the archdiocese that doesn't come just to one parish or to maybe 1 or 2 parishes. The Diocesan Services Fund has 64 different ministries that the Cardinal is asking everybody in the archdiocese to help fund, because it's not just one person's job. There's about 300,000 people who come through the ports of Galveston and Houston throughout a year. And most of the time, they can't leave the port. They have to stay in that particular area. They don't have the right papers and things like that, so it's there. And so we have some deacons and others that provide ministry to our seamen who are coming from all over the world. And about 60% of the seamen are Catholic. They bring our goods. We benefit from them. And so we need to fund them. They have places to materials, and it's a job, so they have to do that. And the priest will go down there and hear confessions. Sometimes they can get to Mass, depending on the schedule of the ships, etc. So the Cardinal says, well, I'm going to ask everybody in the archdiocese, because all of us profit from their work. And so it's bringing Christ to those who need Christ. And by the way, this is, I just want you to remember that, and don't tell anybody outside of Mass today, okay? We want to keep this quiet. There actually are some Catholics incarcerated in our jails. Sorry, but that's true. We can't go in there. We can't go in the jails, and all kinds of things have to go through channels, etc. So we have some priests and deacons who actually work in the prisons and the jails to bring Christ, bring forgiveness for sin, bringing hope, etc. And we need to have a fund that pays their salary and all the things that they have to do. It doesn't happen for free. And that's another thing the cardinal asks us to do as a diocese. And of course, one of the ones I love a lot, because I've been using them this past year, being in the hospital here and there. There are 9,200 beds within a mile and a half of where you're sitting, right down that street. 9,200 beds. And what a tremendous work that is. We have about 10 priests throughout the diocese, and their full-time job is being in the hospitals, ministering, anointing people before different procedures, hearing confessions. And no one parish can do that. If we had to take care of the hospitals, all the hospitals, we wouldn't be in the parish. And so our cardinal says, hey, we need to ask everybody to be part of this wonderful, wonderful program of the Diocesan Services Fund. And I could go on and on. There's so many different ones. You know, a lot of our times, our sons and daughters, after they get out of high school, and they go to college. They go to college, and a lot of them, A&M, UT, Lubbock, all around the state and in the country. And in those dioceses, they have priests who run the ministries for college students while they're in the college. Well, people from all over the world and in Texas, they come here. And so we have ministries that are specifically tailored to the college-age young men and women. So again, we have to fund those things and take care of those funds and take care of the priest and the lay people who work there. So this Diocesan Services Fund is really something very, very important. Last year, 13.8% of our parishioners gave to the Diocesan Services Fund. 13.8. One of our parishes in the Archdiocese had 135.2. How can that happen, Monsignor? I think what they do is sometimes people will make a second donation, and the way the program works, it just counts that as another person. But 13.8. I thought about saying that's horrible, but I won't say it. We need to do better. I'm hoping this year we get 50% of our parish families to participate. 50%, just half. Now, don't look around and say, okay, well, that half can do it. I don't have to do it. No, everybody in church today, every family has to participate to get to 50. Because 50% of our parishioners don't come to church here on Sundays. Did I say that? They need the DSF. And in the pews, you have these nice little brochures and pledge cards here. And it says the donation information, and tells you how you can give that, etc. What I did on my pledge, I actually went 5% more than last year. And I also put an extra 3% on that to cover the fees that the credit card companies impose on people when we use the cards. And it's a tremendous work that we can do with this and bring people, because there are people out in our archdiocese and in the seas and all that who are crying out, "Where are you, Lord?" Well, we help to make the Lord present to them. So what I want you to do, I want you to fill it out, be generous, take a risk. We have so much. We have so much. And the theme this year is, we are the Lord's. And you know, we are. We are the Lord's first. We have a great community here in our parish, but we're God's first. And we have to kind of look at the whole flock of our Catholic brothers and sisters. And so I'm going to keep preaching on this a lot. So if you want me to stop nagging you, I understand sometimes in homes that nagging is a good way to get things done. Sometimes it's not always, "Honey, please do this." And maybe about the 7th time, honey decides to do it. So if you think, do it now and do it early. I might even give shorter homilies. A miracle. But to do that. So what you do is you just fill this. If you have a pen with you or a pencil, just fill it out. You don't have to put any money in right now. Put it in the envelope and just put it in the regular collection. And we sort that out. And then it goes to the archdiocese, and these wonderful, wonderful ministries that are available for archdiocese. So, next year, or this June, we will ordain 3 men for the priesthood. 3. There's 1 million Catholics in our diocese, 150 parishes, and 3 men. DSF helps support the seminarians in their training. We need to make these things happen. It's a real world, so just jump out in faith. Say, I can give a couple $100 over the next year. I can give $25, $50 a month for 5 or 6 months. I can do that. Well, Monsignor, I might not have to do something else. Well, we have to make choices. Let us make the choice. Make this wonderful program even more generous than it has in the past. And let's see if we can get to 50%. 50%. It's not a lot. But I think once you do this, you tend to, okay, hey, I'm helping Christ be where he needs to be when I can't be there.